I'm still with the Mayor of Greater Lincolnshire, the Reform UK star, Dame Andrea Jenkyns. Andrea, before we're going to go and talk to a lady called Anne-Marie in just a minute. She was a witness to what happened on this train where a poor homeless veteran, military veteran, was kicked off for not having his fare or not paying his fare. He had the money, but they wouldn't accept it. We'll talk about that in just a second. Just wanted to get your take on this, because this is happening as we speak. So we've been watching the disturbances, the riots, if you like, in Epping, in Essex, to the north of London, where they've got a asylum hotel right in the middle of their rather small town. Well, we're hearing now, I think we got some footage, that in the Norfolk town of Diss, as you can see, there is a similar big gathering building up right now. And this is outside Diss's local asylum seeker hotel, where again the locals fear that these migrants staying in their local hotel are committing crimes, including alleged sex crimes. Now, so we've seen what's happening in Epping. This is in Diss as we're speaking right now, a big gathering of people to protest about their asylum seeker hotel. My fear, Andrea, is this is going to be the portrait of the rest of the summer. We're going to have these kind of demonstrations all over the country, don't you fear?
I don't fear. I think it's right, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the French do it good at protesting, don't they, over stuff like this?
Yeah.
Look, the public's had enough, and good on them. Do you see the lady there with a pram with a little child in there? You know, this is just regular people. It's families, it's mums and dads, it's grandparents who's worried about their children's future. And we should be worried. I'm worried about my son's future with a state. It is lawless Britain, as Nigel said.
Yeah, what I think is important, when you have these protests, as you say, very valid protests, mostly by the local community.
It's got to be calm and not obviously escalate.
Yeah, so the local community constitute most of these protesters in Epping. They're saying this asylum seeker hotel in the middle of our town makes the streets unsafe for our daughters, for our wives, for everybody in this town. And then, of course, you get the renter mobs come in from both the left and the right. And, of course, all the media and the politicians start going, disgraceful.
That becomes the focus, doesn't it?
Disgraceful scenes, you know, far right thugs, far left thugs.
Like we saw last summer, didn't we?
Exactly. Yeah. But it detracts from the reality, the truth about these protests, that most of them are genuine local people worried about safety on the streets. And that shouldn't be overshadowed, should it?
No, but the media, especially the left-wing media, will focus on that.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Fact of it, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of this over the summer. Well, listen, let's start talking about our homeless veteran on the train. We don't know his name, but the story was he's on a train, and the guard turns up and says, have you got your ticket? He didn't have a ticket, but he offered to pay for his ticket in cash. The guard says you can't buy tickets on the train. So the lady that we're going to talk to in just a second, Anne-Marie Miles, she stood up and says, I'll pay for it with my phone. And the guard says, no, you can't buy tickets on the train. It's like a computer says no situation. Bureaucratic claptrap, if you ask me. But Anne-Marie, who we'll talk to in a second, it struck her that we ought to treat our homeless military veterans with a bit more respect. Why don't we give them free public transport? Let's get Anne-Marie on now, shall we? So welcome to the show, Anne-Marie Miles. Hello, Anne-Marie.
Good evening.
Tell us what you saw. Tell us the story.
Right, so I travel on the train every day to work from Scarborough to York. I'm a care manager for Age UK. So I've seen this gentleman once before, and he appeared homeless. He had a shopping trolley with loads of belongings in and a little dog. So that's what I'd noticed at first, and he left his trolley on the platform and got on the train. And then I saw him having a discussion as the train set off with the ticket conductor. So I thought, I bet he's not got any money for his train. So I looked and he was visibly crying. So I went over and said, have you not got any money for your train, love? And he went, no, I have. And he had screwed up £5 notes in his hand. She won't let me buy a ticket on the train. It was a lady conductor. So I said, well, why can't I buy a ticket on the train? She's not allowed. I says, well, I've seen people on this train, I get it every day, buy a ticket on the train. I says, can I buy one on my smartphone? She went, no, he's getting off at Moulton.
Well, she was determined to kick him off the train.
Yeah. So I went, so he was sat down and he were crying. So I moved on my laptop and things, my work things, and went and sat with him. And I just got chatting. And he says, I were an engineer in the engineer regiment. And I says, really? I says, my husband's a veteran. He served 23 years. He says, and this is the treatment you get. He said, I've been to visit my son in Scarborough. Didn't say much more. He said he wasn't homeless when I questioned him, but he was too proud. I believe he was too proud. So when we got to Moulton, I says, listen, I'll get off the train with you and I'll sort you out a ticket. And he went, no, I'll do it myself. And he got off the train, and the last I saw, that man was sat on a bench with his dog and his belongings. Now, I've reached out to a military community to try to find this man. I do have his name. What I believe is he told me his name on my phone, but I didn't want to make it public because it's not fair.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, let's not pay him that respect. But he was a military man. He's on the streets, and we've just been talking, Andrea, haven't we, about how these Afghanis have all come over, 36,000 of them, to be given free social housing and welfare for the rest of their lives. I think, Anne-Marie, the problem with your friend is he's British. He should be a foreigner. If he's foreigner, there's nothing we won't do for them. But if you're British, and particularly if you're a military veteran, we'll do nothing for you. What is going wrong with our country, Andrea?
I really don't know. I since Andrea posted it yesterday on X, the hate that our veterans get, I'm absolutely flabbergasted. Absolutely flabbergasted. I have never seen anything like it in my life, to the point today at work, I didn't look anymore. I didn't want to read it.
So what's going wrong, Andrea? Why don't we show Anne-Marie's friend the respect he deserves? At the very least, can't we offer all of our veterans, military veterans, free public transport? Wouldn't that be a small gesture that would be in order?
I think the issue is that British people are the back of the queue. And I think the contrast of what we're seeing at the moment, with the Afghanistanis who came over and the boat people, for them to get in hotels, they get all these things. And for a veteran to get thrown off a train, it's just abhorrent, isn't it? And I mean, this is why I'm setting up a veterans village as mayor. I made that pledge to help. It's temporary accommodation about 18 months, 2 years to help support people. It's going to be packaged there with mental health support, get people back into work, and then help them move back into the community. And, my late father was a veteran, and, a lot he'd be turning in his grave, actually, the state of our country at the moment. But there's got to be more respect. And I think the issue is, look at the left, the way they're treating the Northern Ireland veterans at the moment, the Labour government, and it just goes on and on. I think that the left don't have the same values as we do for king and country, the armed forces, and that's the sadness about it, really.
So well, since I started this petition, it went viral, and I've had so many messages from homeless veterans that are on the streets. So
it is a big problem.
Yeah, people don't believe it. We have a hotel in Scarborough. It's where we live. My husband runs his training courses from here, and we are looking at setting up this as a place for homeless veterans. We've only got 6 bedrooms. If we can help 6 people, it's better than none.
And your petition is with a view to at least offering military veterans free public transport.
They're doing America and they're doing Australia.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I used to live in the States, and as soon as an American meets or finds out that anybody was in the services, Vietnam, they always say automatically, "Thank you for your service." We don't say that. What's wrong with this country that we don't respect our veterans, Anne-Marie, do you think?
When my son were at school and we moved back from Germany to the UK, my son got bullied because his dad was a soldier.
Really?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. My husband went into school in the end and did a talk. He got bullied at school. They said his dad was a murderer and he had a gun under his bed. It is at primary school, so...
My God.
Primary school, yes.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, we've got to do something about this. The values system in this country is getting twisted. It's getting very perverse, if you ask me. Something's going wrong here.
It's
don't you think?
indoctrination, isn't it, of our children by left-wing idiots, in my view. So, it really is, isn't it? This left-wing ideology, it's in every public sector, it's in every university, and we've got to fight back.
Yeah. What's your take on the state of the country, Anne-Marie? How are you feeling about things right now?
Not good. I mean, I'm a care manager for Age UK, which is a local charity in York. So you can imagine the calls we get from our vulnerable elderly people who need support, who were having to choose between care and heating last year.
Absolutely. I saw that a lot, actually, when I was an MP.
Yes, yes. So, you know, I see it on a daily basis. I've always worked in care, and I've seen just the system get worse.
Okay, Anne-Marie, how can people sign your petition? How can they find it?
If they go on to change.org and search my petition, it's on there. It's free public transport for our veterans.
Okay, so everybody go on to change.org, look out for free public transport for our veterans. It might have Anne-Marie's name involved.
And it's my husband's picture. People are questioning, is that the homeless veteran? He's got a lot of medals.
Is that your husband, is it? Okay.
That's my husband for reference.
Okay. Anyway, I think it's a great campaign. I think people should help you getting lots of names on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Question to you. How are you feeling about the country? Are we there?
Oh, sorry, you're speaking to me. You went off.
I am. I was just like, how are you feeling about the state of the country right now?
I feel saddened. I do lay awake at night thinking of the state of the country, because I think when you're a parent, you have a different stake in things, don't you? You view things through a different lens in a way, and you want to make sure it's safe for your children growing up. And I don't feel safe, so I don't feel safe for him. And something's got to change. This is why, the uni party, I really genuinely believe we've had a uni party now.
Absolutely, absolutely. We need more people like Anne-Marie and you, Andrea. Anne-Marie, thank you very much for your time, and always a pleasure to have you on the show. As you know, Andrea, thank you very much. Andrea Jenkyns there, Dame Andrea Jenkyns, the Mayor, the Reform UK Mayor of Greater Lincolnshire, and Anne-Marie Miles, who's got a petition up to give free transport to military veterans after she saw a poor old guy, former Royal Engineer, kicked off a train, homeless with his little dog. Could have paid the fare with cash, but you know, computer says no, can't take fares on the train. And Anne-Marie said there he was crying. I mean, really? Serves his country, ends up with his little dog crying, nowhere to live, and they won't let him stay on the train. What's happening to this country?